Woo, baby. I can't believe they built this thing. Woo. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the Speedy's Garage YouTube channel. We're on a little field trip today, and this is going to be the first track day in the Demon. I'm not really sure what to expect. Every car, you sort of have new car blues for a little while, trying to figure out what it likes, what it doesn't like. I've been playing with some of the electronic gadgets like the line lock and the trans brake to sort of get used to them. But I'm going to start off easy and just get to know the car. I haven't really set a goal. Well, that's not really true. My goal is to hopefully set a personal best. I'm hoping that it goes faster than Go Man Go did. And Go Man Go ran a 963 at 146 maybe, which is pretty good for a Hellcat. Of course, you know, was modified and this one's not, but these are typically running low nines pretty easily. It's really going to boil down to how the track is prepared. Beach Bend, they do test and tunes. That's where we're headed. It's my home track, which I love the area. I love Bowling Green, and I love the Beach Bend track. And they can prep it and make it good, but on test and tune days, you know, you have a lot of cars with street tires and things like that. I've learned that if I can drop in behind some of the big boy race cars or drop in line with them, since I'm running race tires, Beach Bend will let drag radials and slicks and all that run together. They'll usually prep the track pretty good before the big boy race cars go, and then after those run, they'll put the street tire cars in and then prep the track again before the big boy race cars go again. So I'm hoping to do that today. Let's get up there, make a few runs. And Dodge wants you to get 1,500 miles on one of these before you take it to the track. It's actually called out in the manual for the car. So I finally got to that point, and honestly it wasn't that bad. I got to drive the car around and enjoy it some, cruising around and everything. So we hit the 1,500, actually I will hit the 1,500 miles on the way to Beach Bend. You know, driving my car to the track is kind of my thing, and so it's about 100 miles one way from where I live to Beach Bend, and then of course 100 miles back. So we'll put 200 miles on the car today, but I'll hit 1,500 right about the time we roll into Bowling Green. I've got my fuel mixed up to the ethanol content that I want for the car. It is not full E85. Channel members, I'll go into some of the technical details of how I'm setting the car up for you guys. Everybody else, a magician, doesn't ever show all his secrets. All right, here goes my first pass in the Demon 170. Not sure what to expect. I spun, but wow! Wow! This thing is a monster! Woo! I might have to get on the brakes earlier and harder. Oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. It spun though. Man, it spun bad. I'm gonna have to ease into the throttle a little bit better. Woo, baby. I can't believe they built this thing. Woo! Thank you. I red lit by 0.1, but I ran a 975 at almost 148 miles an hour. That ain't bad, and that's pretty impressive for my first pass. I've almost matched my personal best ever in Go Man Go. 60 foot, terrible. A 1.742, that's awful. I've got to figure that out. So excited I forgot to hit record on the camera, but there's the second pass. This time I went in the right lane. It's another 970 at about 147 miles an hour, 146.69. I'm still spinning. That's the problem. I had a 1.66 60 foot. I'm foot braking, and I don't know if I'm just getting after it too early, or that time I left it idle. The first pass I left about 1300 RPM. I'm gonna play with the trans brake on the next one and just see if I can pull some power out, because that's what I would have done in the old car with the tune to make it hook up. Well, I have found one problem with my 60 foot. That white mark used to line up with the valve stem. Well, it's probably gonna be my last pass. I'm gonna try the trans brake. I pulled a bunch of power out with the trans brake feature. I'm using map C, and then I went in and custom adjusted it, pulling more power out. We're gonna see if we can get this thing to get off the line without spinning. Yes! Yes! It didn't spin! Oh, I love this car. It has got some really nice goodies. I bet that was a good pass. Woo! Oh my! I love the tools they gave you. The line locks worked great. The flex fuels worked great. Trans brake worked great. Cool down's working great. After that pass, my intake air temperature is 113 degrees, which is awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Now we're getting somewhere. I just set a new personal best. 9.5 at 147. My goal for today was to beat my personal best, which I did by quite a bit. 60 foot was still a 155. I had to take so much power out just to get it off the line, but hey, at least it didn't spin. And now I kind of have a good idea of how that trans brake works. If the prep were good and I had a 1.3 60 foot, something like that, we'd be way down in the low nines in this car, bone stock. Man, good job. Well, we're packed up. We're gonna head to our favorite watering hole for a cold beer and some dinner, and then head back to Middle Tennessee. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this car. That trans brake is gonna be a game changer for me personally. I tried foot braking it and random test and tune Saturday at Beach Bend. The prep is just so. If I could get this car on some really good prep, it would go really quick. The best I ran today, let's see, was a 952, and that was with a measly 155 60 foot. If I get that 60 foot down in the 1.3s or maybe the high 1.2s, that's 9.1, 9.0. I don't know that I'll ever hit that holy grail 890. The weather and the prep and everything just usually doesn't work out for me in this part of the world. So low 9s is really what I'm thinking I'll be able to achieve, but I'm ecstatic that I broke a personal best in the car the first time out in it. I mean, I was a little worried. I was like, I wonder how this trans brake's gonna go. I don't really know. I pulled quite a bit of power. I'll do a separate video for channel members to go through everything I did to get the car to launch and share those details with you. But for everybody else, I'll just say it was way easier than I thought it would be. I'm gonna grab some dinner and get back to the shop. Well, I'm back to the shop, and I gotta say, it's nice when a car exceeds your expectations. I wasn't sure I would like it when I ordered it. I was afraid the suspension would be floaty. It's not. It drives great on the street. And then I was a little worried it'd be really tricky to use it at the track, and it's not. The line lock worked awesome. At least as easy to use, maybe easier to use than the one I had in Go Man Go. And the trans brake, some people have said it's a little tricky to use it. I thought it was super easy. And actually I had my best time when I used that trans brake and was able to control that power. In the old car, I had 3 different tunes I would start with as bases. I had an A, a B, and a C, where C would give you the most power, especially on launch, and I would tweak those a little bit with some special tables to bring the power in nice and gradually, but you had to stop and load the tune and do all of that. With this car, you're literally doing it from the touchscreen live, which was awesome. I was able to do it right before I went to the staging lanes. A lot of people, and that's sort of the trick with Beach Bend, especially on a test and tune day, this is probably true for a lot of tracks, they're not gonna invest a lot of effort into track prep. I mean, why would they? You got street tires tearing it up, and Billy Bob and his 4x4 pickup truck and all this kind of stuff going down the drag strip. So they're not gonna invest a whole lot in making that surface perfect. I hope I can get to an event where there's really good track prep, because I ran a personal best, obviously in this car, but a lifetime personal best in this car, and that was a 952, and the 60 foot was only a 155. I mean, that's really not that great. I would cut 142 60 foots on decent track prep in the old car, and I know these cars are capable of 1.2 something 60 foots pretty regularly, 1.3, and the math I did on the old car would show a 10th reduction in 60 foot was a 0.18, so almost double on the back end of the track. So let's say if I ran a 952 and I had a 155 60 foot, if I just got that down to a 1.3, that's 0.25 times 0.18, and you subtract that from the 952, you're down in the low tens if I'm doing the math right in my head. So anyway, super happy with that. Stay tuned, those of you who are channel members. I'm going to do a deep dive on some of the information that I learned at the track. I'll tell you some of the stuff I did and tried, what worked, what didn't work, and a couple of other little things I've noticed in the car. You're gonna wanna check that out. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. Be sure to check us out on Instagram. It's at Speedies_garage, as well as the website, www.speediesgarage.net, and hopefully I'll see you out there. Oh, and thanks for the folks who I did see out there that came by to say hi.